You are amazing, Susie. And let me just go ahead and pull up some poetry to read. Here we go. I'm going to put all the information on how you can buy my book in the chat. This is a brand new poem I just wrote this morning. How to pepper your way through a salty situation. Uno, freshly lined approximately between a pinch and a dash of white pepper. Black or pink peppercorns will suffice in a pinch. Dos, place in palm of left hand. Trace, throw over your left shoulder while being aware not to hit another people in the face with said pepper. Why? Because salt don't always do the trick and ain't the only definition of seasoning. Feel free to take that with a grain of pepper. The second I wrote last night, it's called Happy Hanukkah. My parents were married on Christmas Day, 1960. December 25th was not an uncommon day for Jewish weddings. They honeymooned in Haiti and brought back an intricately hand-carved menorah. Its holes were so wide the menorah took fat Sabbath candles rather than skinny Hanukkah candles. Mom would line the holes with foil before putting in the candles. She also froze the candles before lighting to prevent messy dripping. She collected menorahs, but always returned to the honeymoon menorah, which she retired after Dad died. And this is called A Tale of Two Thanksgiving Suppers. My brother Paul in Atlanta recently spatchcocked a turkey before smoking it in his egg-shaped ceramic smoker. He carefully cut out the backbone, down the center with kitchen shears, brined it, rubbed it with a rub, then let it go low and slow. It was served with a giant Greek salad, sweet potato casserole with pecans and torched marshmallows, green bean casserole made with fresh green beans, not made with canned condensed soup, topped with homemade fried shallots, and my nephew Max's magic mashed potatoes, plus various pies for dessert. Up here in Maine, I ate mushroom and shrimp egg foo young with snow peas and a gingery oyster sauce and slightly sticky white rice. Okay, this is a true story, The Eagle Next Door. I grew up in a brick split-level house on a cul-de-sac with a male magnolia tree in the front yard. When I was 15, while sweeping leaves off the garage roof, I slipped and fell onto a pricker bush. I was a bit scratched and bruised, but uninjured otherwise. Just another day in Fernhill Court. One day, my mutt Ruff came home with a huge cow bone in her mouth. It so happened other neighborhood canines brought back tasty bovine bones to their homes. It turned out that farmers on the edge of town had slaughtered several sick cows and dumped the bodies behind the big drainage ditch in a clearing called the Clay Pits, which was accessible from a dirt road. Just another day on Fernhill Court. My next door neighbor, Mrs. Ann Duke, AKA Eagle Eye, had a British bulldog named Betty Boop that came from a long line of AKC champions. One day, a Labrador wandered in the backyard and impregnated Betty Boop. Of course, Eagle Eye had to get Betty an abortion so her future puppies could have AKC papers. Just another day on Fernhill Court. Male magnolia trees do not produce flowers. Why I leave plumbing to the plumbers. Last night, I almost accidentally allowed the pipes that run through the walls of my home like arteries to my heart to freeze. Tonight might be the night my heart decides to turn my blood into liquid nitrogen. This will not freeze everything inside my body, but will definitely freeze out my ability to connect to others. Every thought I think and each word I say will travel through Texas power lines that have been in desperate need of utility company upgrades for decades, unintentionally causing other people's pipes to freeze. Sometimes freezing so extreme they break like a lake beneath the feet of a small town hockey match. The frost can penetrate copper inside wires to the point of catching a flame like a wary stare can burn through the psyche of a gentle soul. And tomorrow, I will wake, brush my teeth, wash my face, walk to the shower, turn the knob, feel the spray, and adjust the temperature to a balance of hot and warm till steam rises from the tub and the water decides to not scald my skin or singe my soul. I'd like to, I know I'm pretty close to the time, but I'd like to read just one more piece from my book. Is that okay, David? Okay, I'll do it anyway. Yes. Thank you. And I'm doing this because I'm not going to read Rusty's little blurb on the back but Rusty mentioned this poem in her blurb. So it's called Why Wonder Bread is the True Eighth Wonder of This Wondrous World. I am not Spider-Man, but I have climbed God only knows how many walls in my lifetime. My fingertips are so cut and callous they barely have fingerprints, but they are addicted to walls. When I get to the top of a wall, I turn into Humpty Dumpty. And as I sit atop the wall narrows and narrows, and I have a great fall. But all the king's horses and all the king's men do not exist in my world, and it never fails to be one of those so hot you can fry an egg days. And when I hit the ground, my shell breaks perfectly in half, and I turn into a perfect sunny side up egg. The person who discovers me calls the Guinness Book of World Records, who fly down in their corporate Concorde jet, then measure my diameter and proclaim me to be the largest sunny side up egg ever. And since no one knows I was the egg, the person who discovers me gets a photo on the cover of the New York Post, breaking my yellow with a slice of burnt toast. If I should ever climb a wall, have a great fall, and land sunny side up, I hope whoever discovers me calls Ripley's Believe It or Not. They too have a corporate Concorde, but they always travel with at least a case of Wonder Bread, and Wonder Bread makes the most wonderful toast. Thank you, everyone, and thank you for putting up with me like you put up with John. But